Truro. I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody for coming out. And UK Column, Mike and Brian all send their love. They're so sorry they can't be with you this afternoon, so they sent me instead. And the big message is, please, we can't give up. You know, this is not a lull. They've got something else planned for us. So we need to stay vigilant. We need to do the research. And for anybody that hasn't watched UK Column, we'd invite you all to watch. We will speak the truth. If there's anybody here that wishes to speak to me from the NHS and wishes to speak out, then you're more than welcome. Everyone here is brave. We're all brave, and we're all here not for ourselves, but for our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. This is an assault on creation, assault on humanity. We must not let them win. We will not let them win. There are more and more people coming to the conclusion that we came to years ago, that are waking up. And for the people that have had the jab, please, please, please join us. It's not too late. We will help you. We will support you. We will be there for you. It's not too late. We need to stay strong, stand up firm. There's more to come, folks. I'm very concerned about all these tablets that are being shoved out. Molnupiravir, antivirals, strong drugs that you would give to patients with HIV and Ebola are being rolled out to people in their homes in the UK. Look up Molnupiravir. Look up RNA treatments. Look up vaccines. You know, it's not going to be too long before one day someone says to you, oh, you've got breast cancer or Alzheimer's in your family. We can offer you a vaccine for cancer. This is what it's all about. It's about genomic medicine, precision engineering. It's about resetting the planet. Are we to expect power outages? Are we to expect internet outages? More than likely. Partygate? It's pantomime, it's theatre. I believe it's between Team Rishi and Team Boris, and they're just trying to, Dominic Cummings is controlling the agenda. So it's not over. This is not back to normal as we were. We need to stay vigilant. We need to research, and we need to stay strong. And if every single person here can tell one other person, and that one other person tell another, then look at the numbers. Look at how many people are here today. And please, you know, from UK Column, we send so much thanks to everyone that subscribes, to everyone that watches our material, and to everyone that shares it. Please keep on sharing it, keep emailing us, keep giving us the news. We can only report it if you tell us what it is. So thank you Truro, thank you to everyone who's arranged today. Bravo to all of you. And thank you very much indeed. Thank you, and see you soon. If anybody wants to come and chat, I'd love to chat to you. Thank you. I'll hand over now. Bye-bye.
Wow, thank you, Shelley, and thank you, everybody, for inviting me. I feel very honoured, very blessed, very privileged. Some of you may know who I am, Simone from Event 202, but I'll tell you something now, my name matters not. I'm a name amongst many names and a face amongst many faces. But today I have a message for you, and my prayer is that this message will have a space to land in each one of your hearts, and that will move you into action, move you into a place of, non-complacency, okay? So the first thing I want to speak is about this war that we're in, because we are in a war. The first rule of war is to know that we are in one. Yes? Sun Tzu, one of the famous battle masters of the ancient world, he said, if you want peace, you have to prepare for war. The problem is that we've not wanted peace. We've wanted other things. We've looked into materialism. We've been divided. We haven't wanted peace, and therefore we have not prepared for war. But I tell you, this is a war we're in, friends. And this is a shaking. It's not just a shaking in the natural. This is a shaking in the supernatural. It is a shaking, and everything that can be shaken will be shaken. You're all experiencing that for yourselves now. A shaking in your jobs, a shaking in your relationships, a shaking in your health, in your finances. But friends, there's more to it, okay? Because I don't just see this as a shaking in the natural. I see this as a holy invitation to partner with the spiritual forces of heaven. It's a shaking that is going to bring us out from bondage, out from false doctrines and false narratives. It's an opportunity to let go of all the ungodly things that we have put our trust and faith in. Yes? Listen, friends, now is the time for divine perspective and to get connected with the unshakable kingdom of heaven. Yes? Listen, if you don't believe what I'm saying is true, those people who have looked into this nonsense a little bit more than surface level, you will know that these masters of tyranny, that these evil people that are sat with a globalist agenda to enslave the world, they give their force, their power, their worship, their praise, their time, their energy, even sacrifice their children to these dark forces. My question to you is, what are we giving our time, our energy, our worship, our praise to? Because there's a spiritual exchange that happens, okay? They are harvesting energy, and I ask you, where is our energy going? What are we putting our energy to? Because it's true to say that there is strength in numbers, but there's greater strength in unity, right? Listen, I listened this week to, I watched a little bit about the Houses of Commons. All these clown politicians in their places, in their high places, dictating to the rest of us what we should, what we can't, cannot do. But let me tell you, that's just surface level puppetry. Okay, there's a much deeper level to this. A vast majority of us still don't truly grasp the occult, the mass mind control that's taken place. Most of us still believe this is a political, financial motivation for greed and control. And you fail to recognize it's all about the soul. It's all about the divine, eternal spark within each one of us. There is a duality to everything. Look around you in nature, night, day, sun, moon, water, earth. Yeah, but look around you, that's even within each one of us. Yeah, we have a physical body, we have a spiritual soul. Okay, we've been all taught and led to just feed the materialistic, the physical side. This shaking is causing us to come out from that and recognize that there is an eternal part to this. There's an eternal aspect. Okay? But listen, friends, this led me to read Revelation 21, and I'm not here in a religious capacity. I'm certainly not here to preach to you all. But I've read the back of the book, and I just want to read to you what that says, because I think it's really significant for right now. And this is what it says in Revelation 21. We will, darling, we will. The NHS workers are coming up. To the thirsty I give water without cost from the spring of the water of life. Those who are victorious will inherit all of this, and I will be their God, and they will be my children. But the cowardly, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice sorcery, the idolaters and all liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. Can I tell you, the thing that stuck out to me in all of that was but the cowards. That's first on the list. Cowards are consigned to the fiery lake of sulfur. I'm telling you, friends, now is not the time to shrink back. Now is not the time to fear. Now is not the time to be worried about what people think or losing your job. Okay, now is the time to have a spiritual perspective, to rise up. Listen, there's two ways. Fear, the word fear, and I see some people with t-shirts, freedom over fear, choose life over fear. Well, fear is spelled two ways. There's two meanings to it. You either forget everything and run, or you face everything and rise. I'm asking you now, what are we? Are we victims or victors? Are we cowards or conquerors? Now is not the time to be scared. Okay, I know some of you are tired. I know some of you are weary. Some of you are doubtful. Some of you are second guessing. But we are the most important people in this world right now, in this time. Listen, every single one of you is unique. You have a unique fingerprint. You have a unique eye print. You have a unique voice. You have a unique walk. You have a unique heartbeat. Everything about you is unique. That means you have a unique purpose in this time, in this hour. You need to recognize that. And as I said, there is strength, not just in numbers, but in unity. We need to start celebrating the uniqueness of every single one of us and start coming together to effect purpose and change. Because this isn't just going to stop. Boris might say that they're taking away the vaccine mandate. He might say to stop wearing your mask, but the damage is done and this is still coming down the line. These globalist freaks are not going to let go of what they're trying to implement. Now is not the time to shrink back, guys. We need to come together in our uniqueness. Okay, love one another, honor each other, celebrate, cultivate a new culture. Okay, bless you all. Thank you. Well done, Simone Marshall from Event 202.
Hello everyone. Hello. I've never done this before, so bear with me. I'm just a person. I'm not important. I don't feel important. But I'm not here. I've not got loads of facts for you about the government. I haven't got facts about the vaccine. I haven't got any of that. All I've got is my story and what I'm bringing to you. I've been working for the NHS for nearly 5 years. I volunteered for the NHS for 1.5 years before I even got a job with them. You know, today I'm not a face-to-face patient worker. I don't work in a hospital. I work in one of the offices around the hospital, and I'm getting harassed by HR about my vaccine status, and I now have to fight. We were told that it would be face-to-face workers, and even though that's not okay, none of that is okay. I thought maybe my job is safe, but now I'm finding that it's not, and the lies are just unfolding. So, thank you. Thank you for your support. So when I was in my 20s, I'm 33 now, I took from the NHS, I took from everybody as somebody who was in active addiction for 15 years. I was in hospital all the time. I was ringing the ambulance on myself all the time. All I did was take. The NHS saved my life when I went into treatment. I went into treatment multiple times. I went into an NHS-run treatment centre. and I got clean 5 years ago. Thank you. When I got clean, I wanted to give something back to the organisation that helped me so much, and I'm passionate about the NHS and what we have in England, because they don't have that anywhere else in the whole world, pretty much. So I went back to the hospital that helped me, and I decided to volunteer, and I did multiple different jobs around the hospital, and they didn't discriminate against me because I had a criminal record. They helped me, and they said, we welcome you, because they have policies about that, but they cared about me coming back. And so that's what I did. And then I got a job. I retrained. I didn't have many GCSEs when I left school. I didn't have a career path. I didn't have very much at all. I didn't even have anywhere to live. I didn't have any of that stuff. And they put me back to college, and I retrained, and I did business admin. And then I went in and I got a job full-time working for the hospital I was in, which was Torbay Hospital at the time. Yes, Torbay. I've moved down here in April to be with my partner, and I worked for Trilisk. I now work up at Bodmin. And now I'm being asked to put a drug into my body that I don't want. I've been fighting for the last 5 years to not put drugs into my body. So I won't be bullied by anybody. I won't be bullied by my parents. I won't be bullied by my boss. I won't be bullied by some of my friends, my partner, anybody. Because I refuse to put things that I don't know what's in them or what they're going to do to me into my body anymore. Most of my family live in Spain. They've been living there for a number of years, and I've spent the last 5 years rebuilding the relationships that I broke down in my addiction. And I have worked really hard on those relationships. And now I can't even go and see them. I can't even get on a plane and see them because I have chosen not to do this. I've made a choice about my own health that is now stopping me from continuing to build those bridges that I've worked so hard on. My granddad passed away in May last year. I haven't been out there to grieve. I haven't started the grieving process because I've been unable to join with them and be with them. All because I won't have the vaccine, and I just feel that it's unfair, just like the rest of you, and that's why you're here. So that's really all I have to say. I'll be fighting for my job, but I am prepared to walk away. I am. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, Truro. Look at you. You are amazing. Last time I came to Truro, I think was November, wasn't it, Shelley? And it was, oh God, it wasn't even a quarter of this. And I thought that was good. So thank you so much, because today I needed to see this. So just to say a little bit about myself, if you don't recognise me, because I don't have my dressing gown on today, I'm the lady, as Shelley said, that was arrested just over a year ago in Gloucester for filming a very empty hospital. And that's exactly what it was. And I don't want to talk about this for too long because I've got more important stuff to talk about. But I have been splashed all over the press in a hate campaign for the last year, with every conceivable lie told about me that I assaulted NHS staff, which is a complete lie. I filmed a hospital, I was asked to leave the hospital, and that was the end of it. And because it went viral around the world, and it went to a number 10 press conference, I became public enemy. I became an enemy of the state. And I do not regret filming that hospital, because lots of people have told me it was a point of awakening for people. A point of awakening. and why so many of you are here today, that your government lies to you all the time. They lie to you about everything, and I should know that because in a former life when I was young and naive, I used to work for the government. So I know all their tricks. I used to work beside a media press office, and it's far worse than you could imagine in terms of what they do. But anyway, in terms of me, unfortunately, I had my trial 2 weeks ago in a magistrate's court in Cirencester, and I had the verdict on Wednesday, and they found me guilty of this public order offence. And the judge, boo, indeed boo, because the judge has actually put my life in danger, and I want to say this in public, because he described me to the press as molesting NHS staff. Quite a strong word to use, isn't it? Molestation, when you describe somebody that is in the media and in the public eye. So this is our justice system. Not only is the government corrupt, our judicial system is corrupt from top to bottom. Our judges, just like the government, and I'm sorry to the NHS people here because I have so much respect for you, but the managers in the NHS are also bought and paid for. All our institutions are bought and paid for. This is another word that you may have heard before. It's corporatism, it's corporate fascism, where the world's biggest companies and pharmaceutical companies, sorry, we've got an echo on this, haven't we? The biggest pharmaceutical companies control, and the corporations control everything. And as a message, because we're not just here today for those of us that are here that are activists and have turned up today, we're here for you behind us in the shops, in the businesses, on the street stalls, trying to run a small business. Because if you can hear me, and this is the other thing I want to talk about today, there's something called the Great Reset that we need to start talking about, guys, a lot more. The Great Reset. Because as somebody pointed out earlier, I can't remember who it was, the agenda is shifting. They're playing games with you now. It's all over. You can take your mask off. You don't have to have the jibs anymore. You don't have to socially distance. It's back to normal. Do you believe them? No. They're lying again. Don't fall for it. The Great Reset is an agenda that was planned over 10 years ago. They are not going to give up easily. If you haven't read already, you need to read the book by Klaus Schwab, the director, the head of the World Economic Forum. It is gruesome reading, and I please ask you, I don't like promoting propaganda, but I please ask you to read it so you know, if you haven't read it, what's going on in the world and what they're planning for you. For those of you who can go onto the World Economic Forum website and read about the Great Reset, the fourth industrial revolution, as they're calling it. Because there's a few things I want to talk about to the people of Truro today. And to the people also that are new here today, because it's all about you. We've been waiting for you. To this moment, it's amazing. Put your hands up if you're new here today. Fantastic, that's loads of hands. Thank you so much. Those of us that have been here from the beginning, we've been waiting for these moments. We've been working to see you join us. So thank you so much for keeping our hope and for joining us today. We welcome you, and we welcome everybody in Truro to our movement. This is about unity, what we're doing. So we welcome everybody. But this Great Reset, I just want to say a few more things about that before I talk about unity. This Great Reset isn't just about health, as they're calling it. It's not just about health segregation. It's not just about health passports. It's not just about the NHS, although that's a huge agenda to destroy the NHS and take away our rights to healthcare. Don't believe that it's going to be technocratic healthcare where you get it online. That's complete bullshit. It means that we won't have any healthcare. That's really what it means, only for the very, very wealthy. That's really what they're planning. Don't fall for their technocratic nonsense. They want to take away the NHS completely. And I'm sorry, not just you guys, it's disgusting what's happening to you. All of you in the NHS are going to lose your jobs, unfortunately. In education, and my background is from education. I've been a lecturer for 20 years. I've lost my job now, unfortunately. Not a surprise, is it? But in education as well, it's exactly the same. Education's going to be taken away. There's not going to be any education anymore. It's all going to be online. Everything is being taken away. The street stall holders, the shops, the small businesses here in Truro that are the cornerstone of our society. They're the centre of our society. They are going to disappear. They want corporations to run the world. Homelessness. I'm sure even in this beautiful, beautiful city you have homelessness. Yeah? Homelessness is the highest it's ever been. And that is because of the Great Reset. They're taking control of all property, of all housing. And when the economy crashes, and I'm sorry guys, it's going to crash. When the economy crashes, they are going to take back control of lots of property. Our property that we've paid for, that you've paid for with your wages and worked hard for. They're going to try and steal it from you. You're not going to let them, are you? No! So we can see that this is such a bigger agenda than just health and health passports. It's our whole lives. And I'm going to say something very blunt to you, but you need to hear it. They don't need us anymore. They've got the technology. They've got the AI, artificial intelligence. They've got advanced robotics. All we've ever been to them are numbers that make money for them. And they don't see us as valuable anymore. But we've got news for them, haven't we? We are valuable. We are the 99% and we ain't going anywhere. And as a mother, and that's why I stand here and do these things, and I'm sure all of you who are parents or grandparents, you've got relatives and friends, we don't do this for ourselves, we do it for our children. And there's one final thing, because I don't want to go on for too long, and I hate reading out speeches, but there's something, forgive me Martin Luther King, I'm going to plagiarise. You can see why I wasn't a very good lecturer now. Bear with me, I'm just going to open it on my phone. We don't need them, no. So forgive me, I've taken some extracts from his wonderful speech, I Have a Dream, which I'm sure most of you know very well. And obviously I'm taking bits that I feel are very, very relevant to us. Not that it all isn't relevant, but relevant to our time. Because the key thing we need to start doing as a movement, as a people, as a society, is trying to make amends, trying to make friends and build bridges with the rest of the people around us today. Because we're here for those people. We're here for them. We're not just here for ourselves. We can't fight this unless we unite with people that have taken the jib, and perhaps making a mistake foolishly to do that, or perhaps trusting when they shouldn't, and by also making friends and building bridges with those that wear face coverings. And I know what a struggle that's been for some of us to build those bridges. So I want to talk about that. So here's what I want to read to you from Martin Luther King. But there is something that I must say to my people who stand on the warm threshold which leads into the palace of justice. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. We must not allow our creative protest, it's been creative today, our creative protest to denigrate into physical violence. Again and again, we must rise to the majestic heights of meeting physical force with love. And then there's a final bit, and I've edited this a bit. I have a dream that we will not be divided by our health status, our medical records, our proof of the jib. I have a dream that our families will come back together so that grandparents, children, and grandchildren will be united and hug and kiss and not hate one another. I have a dream that our neighbours will not act as spies and agents of the state, but as neighbours and communities and friends. I have a dream that teachers will teach and be allowed and encouraged to love and care for children and their pupils rather than coerce, manipulate and control. I have a dream that doctors and nurses can listen and nurse and care for patients rather than be forced to hand them over as eugenic experiments to pharmaceutical companies. And I have a dream, and this is from Martin Luther King. I have a dream that we see that we are one, and that we will all lose our jobs together, we will all lose our homes, our wealth and our freedom to protest, our freedom of speech, our freedom of movement, our freedom to a private life and a family, and our freedom to buy and sell. I have a dream that we will keep our freedoms, and I have a dream that we will remain human. So forgive me for plagiarising that amazing speech. But I just thought, I read it the other night, and it's so powerful, because what I've seen happening, just a few final words, because I don't want to go on. What I see happening, and it's understandable in our ranks, is anger building, quite understandably. I felt it as well. Anger at the injustice, at the genocide, at the murder, at the abuse of our children and our elderly, what's been going on in care homes. I feel that anger as well, but we are not going to change it with anger. Once they've got us angry, they can control us. They can control us when we're angry. We have got to follow people like this in history that knew the only way we defeat this tyranny is through love and kindness and humanity and forgiving these people that have been fooled. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Debbie Hicks, for a powerful speech.
Again, I'm not a public speaker, so I do apologise if I ramble a little bit. I have got my paper in front of me, though. I'm a maternity support worker at RCHT Trelisk on the postnatal transitional care ward. I've worked in the NHS for 8 years, and I was asked by the lovely Jo today to share my story with you. In March 2020, when the news broke of a national lockdown because of this deadly virus, none of us knew how it was going to affect us. We were led to believe that people were dropping like flies in the streets of China and looking to other countries like Italy, whose healthcare system was falling apart. And it was very, very scary. I have 2 children, a then 15-year-old and a 5-year-old, the younger of which having special educational needs. After long discussions with my 5-year-old's dad, it was decided that he would go and stay with him for the 3 weeks whilst we flattened the curve. I felt fine with that 3 weeks. I can cope. The NHS needed me, and I was willing for that to happen. As you know, 3 weeks then turned into 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. 12 weeks later, I still had no physical contact with my 5-year-old son, because we were trying to keep him safe and trying to keep us safe, and yeah, you know the rest. I cannot tell you how that affected both of us, and my mental health did take, you know, at times quite a decline. Sorry. There were people off sick in the hospital, shielding, and I was picking up shifts, working twice as much as I was contracted to do, just to help my colleagues and the hospital, because working in maternity, and as you know, babies will not wait. You can't stop something from coming into the little life from coming into this world. So we were regularly understaffed and overworked, which unfortunately has not changed. And until very recently, I had no time off sick and gave up annual leave last summer to support the unit, again, because of staffing issues. During my time working for the NHS, I have held the hands and comforted patients who were dying, and I have cared for newborn life that has come into this world. Sorry. I'm not very good at this, am I? Thank you. It's been a roller coaster. We have supported women and their babies through some of the hardest times, especially those who have needed extra care after birth as inpatients, who could not have their partners in to support them for more than a couple of hours a day. And some of those patients would stay with us for a long time. We were their partners. We held their hands. We listened, we talked, we laughed, and we've even cried with them. We did our best to make them feel safe. I'm very passionate about my job, and it means a lot to me. So to be told that if I am not double vaccinated by April the 1st, I will lose my job, and it hit me and my unvaccinated colleagues very hard. But we carried on. And I and others that hadn't had the vaccination, still standing, still working, still covering people whilst they were sick or shielding. And as time went on, the pattern repeated itself. You know, seeing people have the vaccination and then being off sick because of the side effects, having the vaccination, going off sick with COVID weeks later. I wanted to wait a bit longer before I just chose whether or I wanted it or not. Sorry, I've lost my bit now. So I wanted to wait a bit longer until we had some more data. And then fast forward to the announcement, when the announcement came that care home staff were going to be forced out of their jobs if they didn't take the vaccination. If they were not to be double jabbed, sorry. And what an absolute joke that they did that to them on the 11th of November, on our day that we mourn for our grandparents, great-grandparents, people that have fought for our freedoms and our country. To do that is just sickening. I didn't think it would happen to us, if I'm honest. I'm a bit naive, but, you know, for a virus that they kept telling us was 99.7% of us are going to be okay, it's a mild virus, if you catch it, you know, you're going to be okay. You know, having to choose between my job that I absolutely love and my health and my moral status, if you like, it's been one of the hardest things that any of us here today working in the NHS have ever had to deal with. It's been awful. I've been fine without the vaccination as well, and I'm wondering really why we've not been offered any antibody testing. There are other things. We keep getting them up in Parliament saying, we want to support our NHS workers to make the right decision, blah, blah, blah. Well, why can't you test us for antibodies or do something else that's going to help us to be able to stay in our jobs? They need to be finding an alternative for the people who have carried this country through one of the worst times in our history. The people they proclaim were heroes and clapped for every week. And remember, they were telling us actually that antibodies were just as good, if not better, than the vaccine. So. Okay. The goalposts keep changing, and I am proud of my fellow colleagues that are here today standing with me. You're all warriors. Okay, so, this is about freedom of choice. This is about standing up for what you believe in, standing up for others too scared to use their voice for fear of implications. Okay, I have cried, I have been angry, and I have contemplated just leaving. We have had very little support from managers and have been expected to carry on regardless. And if you think understaffing is an issue now, wait until April. It's terrible in there at the moment, especially where we are on maternity. They are calling out for staff all the time. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there, maybe, because I'll just keep carrying on. Sorry. Thank you, everybody.
How are we all doing? Are we good? The gentleman down here just said, try and overcome your shyness and get up there on the stage. I got my boobs out specially for Truro. I've lifted them up from God knows where. My daughter said to me this morning, Mum, where the hell did those come from? And I was like, I do not know. I'm a foreigner and an outsider here. I know that. I come from Devon. Ooh. My mother comes from St. Kevin, though, so part of me is Cornish. Thank you to every single one of you who are here in Truro today. Give yourself a massive round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And to all of you who were here from the start, who were laughed at by passers-by, who stood in the pissing rain and felt miserable about their lives, you had the courage to make that first stand. And because of you, all of these good people are here today. So you take credit for that. And I'm proud of everybody for being here. These last 2 years, people have tried to make you feel alone. They've tried to make you feel smaller. They've tried to make you feel that you don't count, that you're nothing. When you look around you today, people tell me these protests don't work. This marching with banners, it achieves nothing. I tell them you are wrong, because this is a festival of freedom, and you look around today and you realize you are not alone. You are not alone. We are many, and we stand here together today. And you are joined, let me tell you, by people all over this fine world of ours. You are joined
by people all the way from Sydney to Adelaide, from Ukraine to Spain, from Scotland to Land's End. You are many and you have family all over this fine world. They are with you today and you stand on their shoulders too. You will never be as alone as they try to make you feel. It has been brutal, hasn't it? It's been a brutal time for everybody, and the division has been forced into us at every level. Division in the workplace, division in the shops and the stores, division at the level of family members as well. For many people it has been simply too much, and they have made the rational decision not to be here anymore. We know how hard this has been. We know what you've been called as well, the names that you've been called. Anti-vaxxers, conspiracy theorists, other names. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, I have been called more names than most people on this planet. A Daily Mail called me the biggest bitch in Britain. You better believe it. Frankly, this bitch would like to meet Boris Johnson right now because he can kiss my ass. You will know, ladies and gentlemen, that most recently I was deported from Australia for calling out the tyranny of the leadership of Australia. They put me on a plane and they deported me from the country for speaking out against lockdown and the tyranny. So I immediately popped back up in America, where I was not allowed to be either. And in Arizona, I went into a tattoo bar called The Leap of Faith, which I believe in because I tell my daughters, I tell all of you, leap, leap, and your wings will unfurl on the way down. I mean, don't leap if you're suicidal, but like leap, leap. And so in that tattoo bar in Arizona, I went and had, excuse me, gentlemen, deported from my passport, tattooed on my ass. And I sent the picture to the Deputy Prime Minister of Australia for his wall. I am basically Novak Djokovic, except I'm a bit shit at tennis. We've been called many things, but you know what? We say to the people that call us names, we hear you. We hear your words, but your words do not impact on us, because we are fighting for your freedom too. We are fighting for your freedom too. And to the people who are weak enough to still be wearing masks, we say to you, we are fighting for your freedom too. If you have half of your boobs out and your midriff out, why is your face still in a mask? We are fighting for your freedom too, young people. And the great thing about our side, they call us conspiracy theorists, they call us anti-vaxxers. We are none of those things, because we welcome one and we welcome all. Whatever your choice was is your choice, and it's none of my bloody business, is it? We've dealt with all of these weirdos, the people who wear their masks alone in their cars. Mask perverts, as I like to call them. The people that stare at you in the stores if you haven't got your mask on when they've got 25 masks on and a visor. The people that when they walk past you on a country lane, they pull in like this as if they're about to die of Ebola any minute, just by breathing the same air as you. The people that say to you, have you got your vax? Have you had your vax? Have you had your booster? Have you had your... And I say to them, I'm going to split my trousers and my vagina is coming out. I say, no, but I had my smear test last week. Do you want to see it? We see you, we laugh at you. Come laugh with us. Come laugh at the madness of the world that we live amongst. And today, before I leave you, my darlings, there is one very special group of people that I want to hold up loud and clear. I want you all to put two hands in the air if you are a member or you have been a member of the NHS. Let us see you. Let us see you. People talk about freedom of choice. That is not the end. Freedom of choice without punishment for the choice that you choose to make. Nobody should be fired for making a personal choice about their medical freedom, not ever. And I say to the NHS 100,000, to the NHS 100,000, to these nurses, the doctors, anybody here, you are the best of us. You are the bravest of us. You know, they call us names, but we're just the ordinary people. We are. I was the McDonald's drive-through girl for the longest time. I was the Woolworths pick and mix girl. And I tell you, I got a gold star for the bloody McDonald's drive-through. Yes, I did. And if you piss me off when you put your order in, I licked the rim of your Coca-Cola when I handed it out to you out the window. We are the plumbers. We are the plasterers. We are the ordinary Joe. We are the nurses. We are ordinary, but we are not ordinary because we are prepared to stand tall for what we actually believe in, and that's what the NHS 100,000 are doing. It's been a long time waiting to be proud to be British. But the NHS 100,000 make me feel proud to be British once again. Because they are facing down the barrel of the gun and they are refusing to fall. And because of them, the rest of us stand that little bit taller every single day. So thank you to the NHS 100,000. You're an amazing people. So I say to you, good people of Truro, we may be the ordinary people, but we are fighting for the right for those other people to walk free. And because of that, our side shines more brightly than the rest. And if you are walking in the light, you can never be wrong. Know this every single day, that you are not alone. We are many, and we are stronger together. Thank you very much, Truro. Well done, you. Well done.
Right, people, well done. I don't even know how to set up the backing track on this, but I'm going to say something. A lot of people know me from going to the schools. But the people who know me a long time, I've been doing this since March 2020. Not just 1 year, I've been doing this from the beginning. I'm glad to see the people here, the NHS people here. And I'm glad to see the NHS people speaking up, finally speaking up. Because, you know what? Let me not do no music today. I'm just going to say something quickly and then I'll come off of here. I told my mother, February 2020, I told my mother, I said, Mom, I got a job to do. I used to make £2,000 to £4,000 taking celebrities to clubs. I used to host the best clubs in London. Used to make good money. I told my mother, listen, Mom, the job I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go on the street and I'm going to talk to people. And I'm going to wake people up and let them know about what's going on. I said, Mom, don't cry if I die doing God's work. Cry if I die not doing it. Now, a lot of people don't know this. There's a doctor named Emeka. You know the guy, the black guy who's always on BBC? Tall, good-looking guy? His name is Emeka. I used to be his club promoter. I've been telling him from the beginning what's going to happen. I said, they're going to turn us into slaves. They're trying to turn us into slaves. I tell him, read Revelations 13, verse 16 to 18. I said, brother, I'm going to give up all of these promoting, making £10,000 a month, or eight to £10,000 a month. I'm going to give up all of that and I'm going to go on the street and I'm going to talk to the people. So anybody who know me from the beginning, you should know this. You might see me going to the schools now, but I've been on this from the beginning, man. And I keep telling people, remove the fear from your mind. Remove your image from your mind. When you remove your image from your mind, nothing nobody say to you is going to register in your head. So this is why when I'm on the street a lot of times by myself, I don't fear nobody. You can't say anything and it register here. When people say, I'm protecting my job, what job are you protecting? I don't want to say this because I might lose my job and I need to pay my mortgage. What do you mean you need to pay your mortgage when they're going to kill our children? How does that make any damn sense? You got to practice what you preach. You got to practice what you preach. So this is why it doesn't matter what people say about me. I don't care what you say about me. My reward comes from God. So no human beings can reward me. So this is why I gave up all of that and I went on the street. There was about 10 to 20 of us. This march didn't start July 31st, 2020. This march started in May 2020. And we need to respect those people because people keep avoiding these people and say, yeah, this started this. No, no, no. We've been on the street from when nobody was on the street with us. And look at what we have achieved now. We have 2 million people marching with us on the street now. We have thousands and we have hundreds, probably millions of children saying, don't take the vaccine. People say to me, when I start going to the schools, in November 2020. I'm giving you dates. November 2020, I start going to the schools, and I told the foot soldiers, I said, guys, we're gonna have to go to the schools and give the information to these little children, you know, because a lot of them parents not gonna listen. They said, Remeece, you're crazy? People gonna say this. I said, who are you talking to? People gonna say what? People can say whatever they want to say about me. When I go to the schools, they start calling me, oh, you're a pedo, you're this. The words didn't register here, guys. You can call me a pedophile or all of this all you want. I'm here to free these children. And I'm going to do it with courage and bravery. You understand what I mean? You understand what I mean, guys? Thank you, my brother. You know, so I'm going to just say one more thing. Remove the image from your mind. Go to the schools. Stop paying council tax. Stop paying for electricity. Stop paying for water. And stop paying for TV license. Teach your children what sovereignty is. You know, the other day we was on about 4 to 5 of us was on an outreach. And you know they seized the car? They seized the car? I can't say vehicle. Because you guys know, right? Common law and universal law and sovereignty, living man, living woman. We don't drive, we travel, right? So you guys understand what I mean, but without me have to incriminate myself or incriminate people. So I'm living the life I talk about. When I'm telling people don't pay no tax, don't pay no electricity, don't pay water, don't pay all of that, I'm not just telling people that I'm not doing it myself. Everything I'm telling you, I'm doing it. If I say, guys, I'm going to go to the schools and stand up and talk to these children and deal with any of these adults who's coming to attack me and deal with police, I'm going to do exactly that. You understand what I mean? So thank you for listening to me, man. I appreciate it. And I love Cornwall, man. Mama, don't take the vaccine. Papa, don't take the vaccine. 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 Brother, don't take the vaccine. Sister, don't take the vaccine. 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 Children, don't take the vaccine. Kids, don't take the vaccine. Don't take the... Anybody here understand Jamaican language? No? Yo! Gangsters busting rifles from the east side and Kaka try run and getting feet tied. He cried, Road government are for the seaside. We fight lockdown, ooh. Let E try, Eli, lyrically, one man jigger. Throw away the gun, crime scene, get rid of. Long time and a killer, cut out your liver. Throw that to the dog and make them yam that for dinner. Yo, who the F is you? Pfizer made the darkest. Ask it, chop up Moderna in a basket. Wash it, vaccine the water. 16 the blast it, now miss the target. Red root, yo, mama, don't tell the vaccine. Hey, don't tell the... Why go on, brother? Hey, no. Children. Yo, kids. Yo, I'm a little high. I'm a little hype man in a thank you guys. Respect.
Hello everybody. I didn't know I was speaking, but I'm standing here in front of you all today. I am just a nurse. I have spent years caring for everybody like you in emergency and ITU. I worked through the pandemic in ITU. I'm now in community, and I'm here today to say I am not the threat to the NHS. The vaccines and the mandates on staff are the threat to the NHS. I am unvaccinated because I believe in consent. I believe in choice. I believe in autonomy. I believe in people's right to choose. And I am an advocate for patients every day. And I cannot do anything to those patients without their consent. So why should I be any different? I'm fighting for you all. When you all come into emergency and you don't want something done, you have to have someone stand as an advocate for you. It's about choice. It's about consent, and today it's about courage. I trained as a nurse, and the 6 C's include courage. And the courage I have taken today to stand in front of you to say, I am going to give up my job because I believe in consent and bodily choice. I am not a nurse. I am a hard-working nurse. I care, I love, I work with compassion, I know what I'm doing, I hold hands of people who are dying, of people who are alone, and of people who have no way to stand up for themselves. Without people like me, there is no NHS. I am not a global experiment. I am your nurse. I am everybody's nurse. And I am proud to be a nurse in the NHS and stand up for your right to choose. I don't know what else to say to you. I will walk away from the NHS with my head held high because I stood up for you, and I will always, as long as I can, stand up for people who need my care.